Thanks for listening to the AZ12 podcast, proudly presented by Little Caesars. All right, code FREE CLASSIC, free pepperoni pizza with any pizza purchase. Code LCFREECC, free crazy combo with a pizza purchase, very much like Little Caesars. All right, now joined by the great William Brad Alice, one of the dons of the Tucson sports scene. I am merely Mike Luke. Hello, William Brad Alice.
Hello, Michael.
All right, we got a lot to get to this show. First, now, yes, exactly, Del Taco Tommy, you get it. All right, now, the thing that we need to talk about first is, obviously, we're going to talk about Arizona basketball, but we're going to talk Arizona football first. Brad, this team is clearly better than last year. I don't think there's any doubt about it. My question is, what about, they can't seem to win games, and they can't seem to win these close games, and they are losing in the same fashion. It's one thing if BYU just basically says, yes, we're just going to run the ball at you, because that's exactly what they do. But Houston basically just beat the crap out of them in the last, 4 or 5 minutes. Well, heck, the second half.
It's this weird thing because you asked me my expectations and what would be acceptable.
Right.
And I said 5 to 7 wins look much better, be in every game.
Right.
And even though Iowa State was not, the score was a little bigger than I think the game really was. I mean, Iowa State was better.
Right.
That's exactly where they're at. Yet, I think we're all frustrated. They should have beat BYU. They were the better team. Some coaching decisions, some execution decisions. The Houston game, oddly enough, it was the defense that let them down at the end. And that's a tough game. Going on the road, 9 a.m., very humid. They wore down.
Mm-hmm.
So in a vacuum, I'm fine with everything.
Right.
Yet I sit here at 4-3, supremely disappointed. Because the opportunity was there to be heading into the bye week 6-1 and really looking at competing for a league title.
Right.
Instead, they're still in good shape for a bowl. This team is clearly improved. They're better coached than they were last year. And I can't even point to, and again, did not sit down and watch the game twice like I used to do. I can't point to anything glaring coaching decisions in this game. It was execution, and they just look like a tired football team at the end. Some weird calls. I don't even blame the refs. I know some people are. So I'm torn. I mean, Brennan's done what I hoped he'd do, and now I'm very disappointed in him at the same time. Does that make sense?
Right, because I get it. Because here's the thing that I think is frustrating is that Arizona, every good team they played, they still lost to. And the win that I think if we were to say that we were 4-3 with a win over Kansas State, and if we had said that before the season, everybody would have been like, okay, cool. Little did we know that Kansas State is absolutely awful. And the other thing we got to talk about
they're able to pull off some wins against comparable teams like Arizona. But yeah, you're right. They're not very good.
Right. And I mean, and the thing about it too, that I think is just really frustrating about this is there doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason for what Brennan does. And here's where I'm going to leave with this. The BYU game at the end of the game, you have 19 seconds left. You have 2 timeouts. You decide to take a knee. You don't do a draw. You don't try to get a few quick yards, whatever. I wouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. Now you get the ball with 10 seconds left in the first half against Houston, and you decide to try to make a play. Granted, it ended up in a sack. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason or like a ton of conviction behind what's going on, and I don't get it.
I think, and again, I heard Brennan's explanation for the BYU, which I disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
He was worried about the turnover. They have a guy who can kick 60 yards. I don't think he was worried about the turnover against Houston, even though their kicker is very good. But to me, my guess is that BYU would be in some kind of prevent.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably throw a little slot pass to one of the running backs. And if he can pick up 15 yards, you call the timeout, then you might have a chance. Because again, for as erratic as he is, the kicker can kick it a long way.
Right.
So trot him out for a 60-yard.
Right.
If you can pick up those yards. And if you can't,
who knows? Maybe you get an interference. Maybe you get
if Noah can't throw the little, again, I would have thrown something short over the middle or to the sideline that you can pick up maybe some yards on the ground because they're playing back. And maybe they weren't showing that look, but we don't know because they were lined up in victory formation or in this case, not a victory formation.
Okay. Now,
so my guess is he tried against Houston because he heard the criticism.
All right. Now, Timbo Slice, I couldn't disagree with you more, and that's with all due respect. Completely, here's what Timbo Slice says. Completely different scenario. We were losing middle eight. Momentum is with Houston, and H gets the ball back. BYU, totally different. We were up and had the momentum. It's based on what's going on. No, we weren't. No, we weren't up and had the momentum. It was BYU. We were tied at that point with 19 seconds left, and BYU had just scored 10 straight points. So there was no momentum, and the score was tied. I don't know what else to say about that. And that's, like I said, that's with all due respect, but the situation was the BYU thing to me was far more glaring. Let me ask you this, Brad. I don't
care about, to be honest, I don't care about Houston. Who cares?
Right. No, I'm just saying
it didn't impact the game at all.
It didn't impact the game. I'm just saying
if no one had gotten hurt or thrown a pick, then it's a baffling decision, but
right. I'm just saying that it just doesn't make a ton of sense to me that, that you would take a knee there with 19 seconds left and then go for it with 10 seconds left.
I think he was worried about losing the BYU game. I don't think he really cared about the result at the end of the half.
All right. All right.
So, and maybe, like I said, he heard the criticism. It's like, I'll show you, and this is bad things happen. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. All right. So now the other guys here are saying and I think it's an interesting point as well. How much are we saved by the fact that the Big 12 is awful? That it's not a good football conference?
I think that makes it more frustrating.
Yes. No, I know.
Because there's just a lot of, and that's why I think that's the rest of the season is going to look like this. Arizona's probably going to be in every game, and they're going to win a couple they shouldn't, and they're going to lose a couple they shouldn't. And this probably looks like a 6-win football team, maybe 7, maybe 5. I don't think they're going to go only win one down the stretch, but it's ripe for the taking. I mean, I think Iowa State is probably right up there. I mean, you look at, BYU's pretty good, but they weren't better in Arizona the other night.
But the problem,
and I think what's going to end up happening, I think I could completely see ASU just sneaking into this championship game again. And then in which case they've got a very good chance to win it because they've been there before. So it's just a weird conference, but you can't tell me, Tech's the most talented team, but they are what they are. They're injured. They're banged up. Yeah, there's no real difference between 1 and 9, 10, 11.
Right.
And that's why it's frustrating because Arizona had a chance to pull those out. And again, I don't necessarily hate losing at Houston at 9 a.m. with 80% humidity or whatever it was, but I do mind how they lost to BYU, where they were the better team.
Well, I mean, and that's the problem. Now let's talk a little bit about it. At what point then, if you're Brent Brennan, Brent Brennan hasn't beaten a good team since he's been here in a year and a half.
No.
I mean, that's crazy when you think about it. You haven't beaten a good team. Now, you could say that you played close, but you haven't beaten a good team. The first year, you didn't beat anybody good. This year, you haven't beaten anybody good either. I guess if you want to count Hawaii, but, I mean, they're 6-1, but they stink.
Hawaii and Kansas State are good wins in the fact
that Cody, can you please shrink the ad?
Awful teams.
Yeah.
But, no, they're not, they're not good. Maybe Hawaii is good. They beat Stanford. Stanford beat Florida State. Florida State beat Alabama. That means Arizona is better than Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could just look at it from that perspective. Now, I think the other thing too that's all right. So Kobe L. Thiel puts this in the remarks too. He says Brennan's 9-35 in road games in his career. What do you put into that?
That he's coached mediocre football teams who don't win on the road.
Yeah.
What was Mike Stoops' record on the road?
Losing by an average of 19 points too.
What was Rich Rod's record on the road? I don't put a lot of stock in this. It's a totally different situation. I just need to see more improvements by him, by the team. I think there's some issues with Noah, which and again, he's a very good quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback. And I think there's some decision things he does. What do they do coming out of the bye week? I mean, I think the fact that you want to fire Brennan midseason is stupid.
Right.
They're where they're supposed to be on paper. Again, that might be frustrating for you, but what are you going to do midseason? Who are you going to go get? Are you going to promote Danny Gonzalez? As good as Danny Gonzalez has been all year, his defense has melted down in the last 2 games.
Right. And
so you want to go get James Franklin, Billy Napier? Who else got fired?
Right.
The guy at Colorado. So, That does not mean I'm sold on Brennan either. Don't get me wrong, but you're 4-3 on a
Right.
team that was projected to win 5 games. So you're okay. Now, do you have a decision to make when there's 20,000 people in the stadium next couple of weeks? Yeah, probably. I don't think Brennan's job is safe by any means, but I think it is kind of silly that you want to fire him at 4-3. This is not the case,
But the problem,
and you can't afford it too.
Well, the problem though is that if there's the city, we generally know how this ends when the city's completely out on somebody. Like, how do you? There's 15 to 20,000 people here, and if he still hasn't won a game yet against anybody that's good.
I got a bigger question for you. The way the city is now, because this is a different town than it was when I was covering the team on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
There was 35,000 people every game.
Right.
Then you built on that. Who could you realistically get that would excite this community?
And I honestly, that's a good question, but I'm going to say this: I think that the people are they're just kind of done, man. Because I think the problem here's the issue. I don't know when you watch Brennan that he's inspiring confidence from anybody. And I want to talk about something. I want to talk about something that happened with the Big 12 here, and I think it's something that comes down to this. So, all right, but let's get a couple reads in here first. Welcome to the Rock. Come on, Brad, hop in there. Show us. Oh, that was awesome. Yes. Very good. What?
Oh, see, here's the funny thing. People, I hate some of the stuff you do. This one I'm all in on. I like the Connery going into the static.
Yeah.
I want to come in and go, damn you, Trebek.
Damn you, Trebek. Sure,
I'm good on this one.
Okay, yeah. All right, now.
Plus, they're my neighbors.
Okay. Oh, by the way, you're probably not going to have to pay you're probably not going to have to say MNBA and MNFL with the way that the season's gone these last couple games.
Yeah. That is an added benefit.
Yeah. All right. 2 convenient locations.
I think they just have to go to was it 8 wins or was it a bowl? I don't remember now.
I think it was 8 wins. But yeah. So, yeah. All right. But either way, 2 convenient locations, Tucson plus Green Valley, 50 plus locally sourced landscaping materials, serving residents and contractors, east of Benson, Sierra Vista, west of Marana, south to Nogales, north to Oracle. Get the rock, baby. Back the rock. Green Valley Decorative Rock. Check it out. Okay.
I know you're not a wrestling fan, but some point you need to mix in and do you smell what the Decorative Rock is cooking or something like that?
Hey, you know what you should do? Yeah, because you're hosting tomorrow as well. You should say that. That's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna put you in charge of that. Deal?
Okay.
All right. Yeah. It's going to be big. Okay. Now, let's, RJ's Frozen Cactus. Now, you might think to yourself, you're like, man, I need a place with a big parking lot, and I need a place that I can watch sports and get some ice cold beer and some red hot sports and get a watch party as well. Going to be very, very good. RJ's Frozen Cactus. Huge, like I said, home of the AZ12 watch parties. And again, this is a great place. TVs everywhere. Look at that food right there. You can start yourself and get some beer. Yeah, Kobe, you're on tomorrow as well. I already told you this, dude. Yeah, it's going to be Kobe and Brad tomorrow. I'm very excited about this. Okay, now, RJ's Frozen Cactus, red hot sports and ice cold beer. 100 plus craft beers at $2 deals. All right, now 88 Crime. Now you might see, Brad, you live in a tough area. This is true.
I am in the 05.
Yeah, you're in a tough area. 88
South
Crime.
of River.
Yeah, so when you get south of River, it's tough. Yeah. Now, if you see something going on and you're saying, you know what, I don't want to really get, I don't really want to upset people, but I got to report this. 88 Crime. They've solved thousands of stuff. And William Bright Alice, you can do just that as well. Yeah, Pima County Attorney's Office. It's 88crime.org. Boom. All right. Now,
88 Crime's been around since I was a kid.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Yeah, I really, I was going to say I like 88 Crime. Kobe, look at your text. I already told you this last night. All right. So now let's give
Kobe has some time off because he's transitioning careers. Is he going to put AC in the car during this transition time?
You know what? That's why it's going to take 2 of us to ask him tomorrow. We're going to be very excited about this. Yes, exactly. All right, Brad, let me ask you this. I actually find it, I'm going to stick up for Brennan here slightly. I actually find it, I have no problem. I personally can do without coaches just swearing and yelling mother effer every other word. I don't really, Like the Sean Miller approach, I didn't like. I don't. To me, that just kind of sucks. But so I don't mind a coach that's not swearing. My question is this though. At what point though do you just not really work the refs at all? Because there were some pretty big miscues in this game. And again, Houston deserved to win this game. But at the same time, the Big 12 apologized for calling a 15-yard penalty on Bobby Wade. You had two reviews that were, I don't know what anybody was looking. Everybody thought that those. At what point does Brennan you don't, and we had Tyler Warden on, and he made a great point. I want you to, expand upon it, or maybe you disagree. When the Arizona played BYU and Arizona got a good call against BYU, they probably shouldn't have got. Kalani, whatever his name is, Sataki, ripped into the officials for 35, 45 seconds, then called a timeout and proceeded to rip into him again, and then they got the next bang call. Arizona never does that, or Brent Brennan never does that. Is that where are you with that?
Well, again, as someone who does not watch Brennan on the sideline repeatedly, there are different strategies that work with different officials. You know this, Mike. You ref.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
There are some guys who try to joke, talk, lobby more politically.
Right.
For every Stoops and Rich Rod and Sean Miller, there's an Andy Reid.
Right.
Who doesn't lose his occasion. But that's the thing. When you do blow up, you have to blow up.
Yeah.
So you can't be level the whole time. But if you're level 95, 99% of the time and then blow up every once in a while, that works. And I don't think Brennan necessarily does that.
Right.
But I also, you can't fake it either.
Right.
Stoops being buddy an entire game would also be fake.
Right.
And I liked Mike. I got along really well with Mike.
I like Mike Stoops as well. I thought he was I thought he was crazy, but I thought Mike Stoops.
Oh, he was a batshit crazy, but I love the guy. Yeah. But I tend to be, I coach some baseball. I've coached some even volleyball, and I tend to be that more level-headed. But when I get mad, I point out. I don't yell because they're usually volunteer refs,
Right.
But there's a time to do, because there are ones who ride the ref the whole time.
Right.
And especially again, it depends on sport. And then when I go, hey, that was clearly out. Volleyball was the big thing where I could manipulate a call from that. Well, because I was cool the whole game. And then so I think Brennan needs to find, and again, it's not his personality, and that may be part of his downfall. Again, I'm not a knee-jerk reaction guy with coaches. Right. Although if Brian Daboll had a job coming off the field yesterday after that debacle, if you watched the Giants game.
Yeah.
But I think there are some things with him that certainly doesn't work.
All right.
And he needs to find, and again, he may never find it. He's too far into it. But yeah, again, it's frustrating. But I also don't want Rich Rod and Stoops who blow up at every little thing, even when they're wrong.
Right.
Because then it loses its impact as well.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of the middle of the line. I have no problem with the coach swearing. It's just when it's nonstop swearing. At that point, I find it unbecoming. I mean,
again, basketball, football are different. I get it. Luke didn't swear.
Right.
But Luke got angry.
Right, Luke.
You also knew when you were the ref, when Luke went to the end of the bench to get his water and look at the clipboard.
Right.
You done messed up.
Yeah, for sure.
But he earned that. And Brennan hasn't earned anything. Right. So Brennan might be able to go out there and just kind of do like a Tim Duncan face. What was that? But he hasn't earned that.
Well, exactly. Now, listen.
Whereas if Saban gives you the death stare, he's probably getting the next call.
Now, Joseph, there's people in the media that are clearly still very much in on Brent Brennan, and that's their right. I don't agree with them, but it is what it is. Okay, so the
my biggest thing is if Brennan Brennan has improved this season, no doubt about it. If you fire Brennan, who are you getting? And how far does it set you back? And maybe not at all, because if you get the right guy, transfer portal, boom, you're set. And that's why it's very different now. That's why you're seeing coaches get let go now. We haven't seen the new AD make a real hire. Unless I don't think she hired Drinkowitz at Mizzou, and if she did,
no, she didn't.
Then I completely trust her. And that's my thing. Who are you going to get who can turn it around?
Right.
What do you lose? Because they're doing an okay job recruiting right now.
Right.
But is it anything you can't recover from? No. If you
Have
lost,
you looked at the schedule next year too? It's very, very tough.
yeah. So
Yeah.
again, at this point, you retain Brennan. I'm uninspired, but I'm not upset. You fire him. I'm uninspired and not upset unless you get the right guy.
Now let me
And
ask you.
then you have to decide: do you want retread
Let me ask you this.
or do you want up and comer?
Let me ask you this. Period.
Yeah.
Point blank. No. Is Brennan the right man for this job?
What's your expectation?
Rich Rod. Good. Really, really good. Once every 4 to 5 years. 6, 7.
Honestly, I think it's
wins.
I think Brennan is. I think Brennan every year will go between 5 and 7 wins. 5 and 8 wins.
Is that good enough? And again, I know it's Arizona football, but is that good enough? Because I don't think that's good enough, and I agree with you. I don't think that's good enough. 5 to 7,
no, it's
especially in the Big 12.
If I was guaranteed no 3 and 4 win seasons, which we got way too many of,
right,
then I might be able to go with it, but I can't guarantee that.
Right.
And also because I do think there's a power vacuum right now in the Big 12, because Utah is a little down, and I don't know how long Whittingham has.
Right.
And I thought Oklahoma State and Utah were going to take the reins when Texas and Oklahoma left, and I was wrong. Right now, it could very well be Texas Tech with their budget and ASU, because I think Dillingham is really good, and again, BYU's got those natural advantages. But if you can get the right guy at Arizona, so if you roll the dice, but you got to get the right guy, you can be up there, because there is again, for the most part, I think this league's going to be topsy-turvy. That's just what it's going to be.
Right. But all right. So, but if because I just don't believe that 5 and 7 is good enough every single year in a conference. It's not very good.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
But again, I'm worried about the alternative.
That it could get a lot
It could get worse. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, could it get worse than 18,000 fans in the stadium?
No,
that's the worst I've ever seen it, Brad. I mean,
No.
I mean, and you go back a little bit further than me, but that's the worst I've ever seen it by a mile.
Because we're in a completely different. Got to remember, Stoops did not go to a bowl game for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Average attendance was 48,000.
Yeah, but he also he brought life though in, because he inherited a dumpster fire where Brennan didn't inherit that.
But you're no longer at a point where going to the U of A football game is a thing. When I was a kid, when you were a kid, it was a thing. Yeah. People went. Just went. You didn't care. Now, if LSU came to town, yeah, you had 58,000 or whatever it hold, 54. But you knew there were going to be between 40 and 45,000 every week. And I don't think Tucson's that town anymore. Because you haven't seen good football in 30 years. 2, there are all too many other things going on. And frankly, not a good game day environment as it used to be.
Yep. All right. Now, Brennan, Vegas Falcon. I can't wait to meet you up in Vegas. $20 super snap. Brennan is uninspiring and weak. Can we be a basketball school? No, we are always a football school. Now, Bobby Wade didn't actually do anything. I guess the Big 12 apologized to Arizona for that. What do you think? And again, Arizona deserves. I'm gonna be very clear about this. Arizona. Okay, Cody, you can take that off now. Arizona, and thank you again, Vegas Falcon. Arizona deserve to lose that game. Listen, if you know that another team like Houston is going to come right at you, you know exactly what they're going to do, and you can't stop them, you deserve to lose that game. So I need to be very clear about that. Houston deserved to win that game. That being said, the officiating in this conference is bad. I have no problem with missed calls on the field. That's going to happen. I totally get it. As an official, I miss calls from time to time. My biggest problem, though, is when you go to a replay, you look at it for 2 minutes and you still get it wrong. The one play with what was it? I can't even remember. Well, there was a couple ones. I think there was the sideline catch with Mike Pereira, and Mike Pereira says, "Yeah, that's not a catch." Commentator said it, and everybody was just like, "Okay, cool, moving back." Ref comes back, says it's a catch. Had a couple other plays like that as well that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. They've been disciplined to a certain degree. And again, I'm not blaming the refs. I'm saying that the refs aren't very good. What is your take on the refs so far?
It sure seems like it's all over college football right now.
Why aren't these full-time refs? How in the world, when you have hundreds of millions of dollars in play, are these refs not full-time?
I don't know. NFL didn't have full-time refs until what, 2 years ago?
The what?
The NFL, the National Football League.
I didn't hear that.
It's a multi-sex league if you're good enough.
Mm-hmm. You can absolutely. That's a great point. But
it's not called men's collegiate football. It's not called men's professional football.
True. Yeah, we're open to all comers. But seriously though, how do you go to the replay and still miss it?
I don't know. And again, for some of these are just weird. I think in some things we gotta look at rules too. I think there's some stupid rules with catches and things like that that they just need to fine tune. Like the one that gets me is like I have full possession of the football with 2 feet in bounds, and then I bobble it after I'm out of bounds, but I land with the ball. Who cares if I bobbled it when I was out of bounds?
Right.
If the ball touches the ground, I don't care how much control you have of it. It's not a catch. Because in baseball, if I do that, the ball touches the ground, even though I have it mostly in my mitt, it's not a catch.
Right.
Just simplify it. Then we don't have these problems. And again, we're going to still have some problems. Part of the problem is this game is just so fast, so physical. So, but you should get it right on replay. But we're seeing it all over the place. Right. And I've seen other, ACC has some, at least they open it up and you can listen to them discuss it. Which I think everyone should start doing.
I also think they should take it out of the hands of some of these neophytes and just have somebody that knows what they're doing. Have Mike Pereira just review everything because he seems to get them right when he's looking at him. And then,
he is the best of that bunch.
He's awesome. Yeah,
yeah. Because who was it? Who was it? Cowherd who was making fun of one of the other ones?
Right. Yeah,
from one of the, and he was right. That guy was like not good.
Right. I mean, he's just. I just like I said, he is a. Mike Pereira, just have him do everything. Okay. Now, as far as then Noah.
Mike Pereira, you will get $30 million a year, but you will not sleep on the weekends.
Yes, exactly. That's what you do. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Noah. There's 2 things here. I thought Noah, passing-wise, was exquisite. I thought it was one of his better games here. It's 24 of 26, The one thing that he struggles with that I'd like to see them stop calling because he definitely struggles with it, and it's just something he's natural. He's not very good at the RPO. You look at it, and on that 4th and 1, when he could have just tucked it and probably ran for about 25 yards. On plays like that.
I don't even think that was the RPO. That was the read option. He's been bad at the read option. Here's my problem with Noah. I think Noah is a very good quarterback.
Right.
I think Noah makes some questionable reads, and I think he struggles with situation.
Okay,
I'll give you a great example. The BYU game. That last play. I know what they were doing. When you get that look, you go one-on-one with that guy. Such a tough throw.
He did drop it right in his hands.
He did drop it in. It was great. But trying to do a corner fade on 4th, and we see this in the NFL as well. We see this in college football. Guys trying on, 4th and 5, going 30 yards downfield because they got the one-on-one, but that's a tough throw. Again, I think a lot of their problems in the red zone is some of it Daggy, yeah. I think some of it's execution, yes, and I think some of it is read because everyone's like, oh, they call horrible plays. You got to remember, every play has so many permutations. This is not like if you're my age and you played high school football, you called a 5 and out. It was a 5 and out, regardless of coverage. You didn't change. You checked down occasionally. You had an audible. Here, you have pre-snap reads, post-snap reads, RPO. So they may have the exact right call, but if Noah runs it differently, or if they do not audible, or they do not signal to him to audible, so I think it's very difficult. But I think that is the one problem because again. Throwing the football, he was great. He was really good against and stretches against BYU, but it's some of that decision making that, again, if that's 3rd and 5 and you run that, not a big deal. But on 4th and 1 or whatever, you got to tuck and keep.
I would have liked to, honestly, when he struggles with something like that, I would have liked to have actually seen him. I would have actually liked to have seen him just throw the ball twice. I mean, he had 2 incompletions the entire game. He was 24 of 26. I mean, he was fantastic throwing the ball. In a situation like that, I'd like to, like I said, I'd like to see him throw the ball. I mean, and the other thing too, and they didn't happen in this game. He's also been killed by drops this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the receivers, they didn't have a bad game this past game, but the receivers by and large, outside of guys like Wysong and a couple others, I mean, I can't count how many passes Watley and Hunter have dropped this season. And that stuff was, and those are things that you just can't happen. Now, and like I said, I'm going to keep coming back to it. You can criticize the decision all you want. I don't necessarily disagree with it. He dropped that ball right in Watley's hands. Watley has to catch that ball. I mean,
although that's, again, an insanely tough catch with the game on the line.
I get it, but you got to catch it, man.
You got to catch. You also have to catch. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Lev's wrong about that. Okay. Now, I'll say this with, so we'll see. I think Hudson's good. The guys that I would keep on the field, I would keep Spivey on the field. I would keep Wysong and I would keep Hudson, and the other guys can just kind of.
The problem is, man, Watley, when he's good, he's great.
Agreed. But
yes, the drops are.
And the problem with Watley's drops is that they're debilitating drops. They're always at the absolute worst time.
And that's why a guy like that's in Arizona.
Right. No, I agree.
Not at Miami.
Right. Agreed. Now, Joseph, I agree with you, by the way. So, now, those are the guys I do like Spivey. I think that you got to play Spivey more. Spivey doesn't drop the ball. I think that he's got to be in there. He's bigger. And, like OC Bodybuilder said, number one rule as a wide receiver is catch the football. Man, that's why our listeners are so smart, because they are able to put things out there that I couldn't possibly get like that. Very much appreciate you, OC Bodybuilders. Now the offensive line, then, offensive line to me has been okay. I've been okay with the offensive line.
It's that's just kind of Arizona football this year, though. It's fine.
Yeah.
The offensive line has been fine. The running backs are very good. Noah's very good. The receivers are the ones, when they're catching the ball, they're fine.
Right.
For the most part, the defense has been good to fine. There's not much pass rush. They didn't seem to be flying to the ball as much this game.
Right.
Which is why I'm wondering how much of that was heat and humidity and time of the game. Which is also frustrating, because one play here, one play there. And again, we're talking about a 6-1 football team.
Right.
That's why, again, I'm both optimistic, and that's what, and people are like, Brad's hedging. I am hedging because I see a lot of good things. But I also see a lot of uninspiring things, and I'm torn. Again, if you told me tomorrow you can upgrade the coach, and I know you're upgrading the coach, great. I was also thought Kevin Sumlin was a great hire, because I thought you were going to get the Kevin Sumlin revenge tour, and you
didn't think you were going to get the alcoholic.
When I got drinking money tour.
Yeah. So yeah.
Go ahead. So yeah, someone says you can have James Franklin tomorrow. Do I have Vanderbilt James Franklin, or do I have I'm positioning for a media job James Franklin?
Right.
Well,
hey, you do have you had Nick Saban was in Tucson. I mean, do you think that's maybe the plan, Nick Saban?
Through that door.
You don't.
You had a better chance at Chris Peterson 10 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
At least he was buddies with the old AD.
Yeah. Now, all right. So with Noah, the other thing, I'm just going to stick up for Noah one last time. Noah's a top 5 quarterback in school history.
The top 3 quarterback in school history.
Yeah. There you go.
And that may be the problem. The problem is there may have only been one great quarterback in school history.
But Noah's very good. It's still my point.
He's very good.
And we've seen.
The problem is, to win 8-9 games with this team, you probably needed great.
Yeah, but again, I don't think that you're going to. I mean, we're still Arizona football at the same point.
No,
so
you're right. I have no overall. It's funny because people like Brad's being politically correct, and then when I do nitpick something, you guys get mad. Which is basically got my radio career, by the way. When I was finding the positive, you're not negative enough. When I put out the negative, I got fired. So go figure.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, and look at Noah's numbers this season as well. I mean, Noah's numbers statistically are very, very good this season. So
no, he's a very good quarterback. He will go down. He will probably, depending on how this season plays out, go down as the number 2 quarterback in school history behind Nick Foles. And frankly, Foles' NFL career probably gives him a few bonus points.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Nick Foles, you got to remember too, he never finished on a ranked team. I think in his last year they were 7-6 and they were losing by 10,000 points. But that wasn't because of Nick Foles. In reality,
the best team to me, honestly, the best night of Arizona, the best team Arizona football ever had in the last 20-something years.
Yeah.
Was that team that beat BYU in the Vegas Bowl with Willie Tuitama and Gronk.
I agree with that.
Now, that's including those 10-win teams.
Do you
I
take
think
Noah
on
over
that night. But Noah's a better quarterback than Willie Tuitama. Noah's a better quarterback than.
Do you take Noah over Keith? I'm not there.
In the modern game, Keith would be an absolute. Keith might have won a Heisman if they let him play in the modern.
I can't put. To me, Noah's ceiling at Arizona is 3. I can't put him ahead of Keith, and I can't put him ahead of Foles.
He has a better career than Keith.
Okay, but
here's the thing: there's 2 guys I wish I could have seen play in different eras.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could have seen Keith Smith play in a modern era. Because remember, he was completing 70% of his passes when 55 was good.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could have seen Jason Gardner play in the mid to early 80s when a 5'10" point guard who could score had a shot at the league.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing about it, too, is that Keith, listen, and I know OJ did some really good things as a freshman.
Keith was better.
Keith was way better. I mean, that was really, we talk about charity snaps. I mean, that was kind of, after a while, that was.
Go back, if you have the film, and I've said it for 20-something years, if you watch OJ's freshman year, a lot of those touchdowns.
Just
and again,
chucking it up there.
Chucking it up for Jeremy McDaniel.
Mm-hmm.
And he just ran. Again, you throw a good deep ball, great. But Keith, again, he completed over 70% of his passes in an era where 55 was good.
Yeah, I mean, so it really wasn't, like I said.
I don't think Noah's taller than Keith, by the way.
Oh, no, I am taller than Noah, so it always cracks me up, and I'm 5'9" at the absolute most. I think I was measured in one time at 5'9", but I generally come in at 5'8.5", and I'm taller than Noah. Noah's 5'8". And
Keith's a legit 5'10", 5'11".
Keith's 5'10", for sure. Keith's 5'10", yeah. So I will put it at that. Now, as far as looking ahead, we're going to look ahead here on the schedule a little bit, but let's get a couple reads in here first. All right, now Copal, we're going to be having a get-together at Copal because we like tasty margaritas. Yummy, yummy in my Copal tummy. Mexican food delivered nationwide at mymexicanmenu.com. Use code AZ12 for 10% off your order. Now, here's the deal. Book your next large party or corporate event with Copal. Large party packages available. We also cater any event. And again, Copal, Tucson's contemporary Mexican food, copaltucson.com. Very, very good. Check it out. And no, Dennis or Joseph never real times. He just makes stuff up that he's going to. Okay, now Bridge Tech Communications, our guy Tony. Now, you might say to yourself, you might go, all right, I am looking for a gym that is not like Dennis Walsh's gym, where there's actually like a big gym and they got big weights in there and they're not having to use like the prison concrete bucket and I don't know, some like oscillating fan is their AC. Bridge Tech Communication is there for you. And again, if you have a gym, they will make your gym even better. 750% average ROI can help you market your gym or health wellness spa. Bridge Tech Communications promotes 100 plus health entities across multiple states. Our guy Tony is the man. All right, what else we got? All right, now the Family Food Project here. Direct Aid plus life skills, cooking, nutrition. Yes, currently 255 meal kits per week. 2026, 1,000 meal kits per week. Now, donations made with AZ12 comment will be matched cumulative up to $10,000. Yeah, the TucsonFamilyFoodProject.org. Again, it's for a very, very good cause, and it will be matched. So go again and check it out at the Tucson Family Food Project. You will thank me. Well, they will thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, Javier just says Noah shouldn't be for the QB for 2026. And you back that, correct? No, Noah, I would absolutely want Noah as my quarterback in 2026. I don't, listen, I've watched Arizona football. I know what bad quarterbacking can look like. It's not him.
No, and if Noah wants to come back,
I'd take Noah here for the next 5 years, man.
Yeah. And he's not only good on the football field, he's good for the community.
Oh, he's great for the community. I mean,
he
anybody
does get
bashing
the right
Noah,
way.
Right. Yeah, and the other thing too, remember as well when everyone was like, "Yeah, I want to see Braden Lockie and see what he can do." Like you didn't have a film of him at Wisconsin. You saw what Braden Lockie could do when he came in. So come on.
Okay, let's repeat. He was the backup at Wisconsin.
Exactly.
Wisconsin, not good right now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else to say, but yes, I would absolutely want Noah Fafita back.
Dude, if no, and again, statistically, Noah comes back next year and
Right.
they win some football games, he could leapfrog Foles
Right.
as a college quarterback. Again,
Right.
Foles has kind of the Iguodala effect that his pro career.
But he put up a ton of numbers, though.
No, he was great. He was great.
Yeah.
Again, he is the clip. Again, that also tells you Arizona's quarterback history.
Right.
That, you know, he's clearly the best. I mean, you got Keith, you've got Tunnicliffe. Again, I didn't see Udall play in the.
Yeah. Oh, don't lie. You saw Udall.
I didn't see he was an obscure.
Right. That's
that's also Arizona football. The what ifs.
Right.
Anu Solomon was really good for half a season, for 3/4 of the season.
Right.
Obviously, Tate for that 1 month.
Yeah.
Matt Scott was really good under Rich Rod that first year, but he was behind Foles.
Right.
So there are a bunch of what ifs. You know, you can really, if you really want to play the what if game, Nate Sudfeld, who.
I was going to say Nate Sudfeld. You're really going back.
I am. Who committed and obviously left when they made the firing and played in Indiana back before Indiana was a thing. So, but yeah, if you want to blame Noah for anything, no, just stop.
Yeah, you bring back. You want Noah here as long as you want because let's see here. Now Shane Simmons, the great Shane Simmons, puts it very well. You absolutely take Noah with the second year under Daggy as opposed to a QB to learn a different system. So I don't. That is what it is. So yeah, I'm all in. I'm definitely in on Noah. Okay, what were you gonna say, Brad? Were you gonna say something?
I was laughing at the Doyle comment.
Oh, yeah, the Doyle stuff's great. Okay, now let's talk on the defensive side of the football. Brad, I'm just going to say this. Arizona's going to be going against running quarterbacks for basically the rest of the season. JJ Solano, BJ Danker was 199 Super Snap. Very much appreciate you. I like BJ Danker. I think they got the absolute most out of BJ Danker.
Let's put it this way. People don't. Rich Rod could coach, man. Rich Rod's a great coach.
Right.
He is a lousy recruiter or a lazy recruiter and doesn't make necessarily great game day decisions. But X's and O's, it's hard to beat that guy.
Right.
Because, again, he won with or did well with Matt Scott, BJ Danker, Khalil Tate. He got Brennan Dawkins to drop 60 on a few teams.
Right.
Again, he was – so – his problem was he had a bunch of 5'6" receivers and 240-pound defensive linemen.
Right. Yeah. I mean that.
But I think you could argue from a coaching standpoint.
Oh, for sure, he is.
It's him and Larry Smith. It's him and Larry Smith. As great as Tomey was, Tomey sometimes also got in his own way.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's Rich Rod and Larry Smith without question. Without question. Yeah. All right. So. All right. Wow. What are we going to talk about? Okay. So now defensively, I think the problem though for Arizona going forward is fairly simple. That you're going against Colorado next. They stink. And by people in the comments, when I say other teams stink, I'm not saying we don't stink. I'm just saying that those teams stink. Colorado stinks. Saltine can run the ball though, or whatever his name is. And they got some other guys as well coming up here. All these teams are just going to run right at Arizona. That's all they're going to do. And they're insane if they don't.
No, you're right. Because look, Houston's quarterback ran more, I think, against Arizona than he did against most teams this year. Obviously, Bear Bachmeier tore Arizona up. And that's just a lot of that is Arizona's doesn't have a great front seven.
Right.
Or front five, whatever. I mean, they're at their best when they can throw one or two linemen out there, a bunch of linebackers and safeties. But you can't do that when you have power running between the tackles.
Right.
Losing Trey Smith really hurt. Losing a couple of the other guys really hurt. They fly to the ball. But again, when you're getting that push and the quarterback can because a lot of those quarterback runs it's not your traditional run where you know what hole. You're just reading, looking for a hole. So you find a hole and you go.
Right.
So Arizona is going to struggle there. But that was the trade-off. You
Right.
know, with the talent they have, again, I think Gonzalez has done a phenomenal job.
Right.
And until the last 2 weeks with these running quarterbacks, they didn't get, and they shut BYU down for a long time.
Right.
I think they just got worn down. I mean, BYU has a really big physical line. So yeah, I think that's the thing. Now you just have to hope to be opportunistic, get some turnovers. You're going to have to scheme for that running quarterback and kind of hope for the best.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm going to say this though with Danny Gonzalez and what Danny Gonzalez has been able to do. There's no MNFL prospects on this defense outside, or clear MNFL prospects outside of Genesis Smith, who's clearly an MNFL prospect. They are going to get beat up from time to time against that. There's just not a ton of talent. We need more BBNs. We need BBNs on this team. Big Bill Nortons and.
Yeah, they've got no real quality size up front.
They don't really have any quality size. They also don't in the front. They don't really, outside of Deshaun McKnight, who I very much like. I like Deshaun McKnight. I think he's very good. They don't really have any game changers. They don't really have anybody where you're like, that gets an opportunistic play that gets, and so that's where I come out with from Danny G's perspective is that, and that's why I'm totally fine with what he's done, is that he's not working with a ton. He's just not.
No, but even look at the result. I mean, yes, he's not a great night or day in Houston. It was 31 points. Mm-hmm. What was BYU? 30-something, but it was double overtime. They gave up 50-something last year to the third-string quarterback.
Central Florida, you lost 56-7.
Yeah. So, again, instant upgrade, doing as well as he can with what he has.
Yeah. Now, I will say I do think he does need to play JV on Colmore. I agree with you, Shane Simmons. I do not get that one. But, okay. Now, you can't blame this on the depth. 3 defensive linemen is never going to stop the run. I mean, I do get that you probably need to stack the ball or, maybe stack the box more. I mean, I just keep coming back to that he's not working with a ton.
Do you want to throw out a guy who can't play just because he's a big body?
Well, right. Exactly. I mean, we could do that. It doesn't mean it's going to work.
I mean, and realistically, who would you? It's pick your poison. Do you want to have a big fat guy getting pushed 20 yards downfield, or do you want to have a skinny athletic guy who's a better football player running head first into that 300-pounder?
Right, and they don't. Right, and again, I mean, they've got. I mean, if you just want to put a big guy out there, they've got the guy from New Zealand that's like 800 pounds and he's like 8 feet tall. Like, I mean, I don't.
Again, my problem is not Gonzalez. My problem overall, the team I think is close to maximizing their talent.
Let me ask you this: special teams.
That's a whole nother story.
Well, we're going to talk about the special teams here in just a second. Let's get a couple reads in here because we are definitely going to talk about. Yes. Now, Big 12 Bobby, the great Big 12 Bobby. I want to recruit lines from Texas instead of New Mexico. Very, very true.
You know what I like from New Mexico? I like centers.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Basketball centers, not
basketball centers. Give me AJ Bramlett. Give me Kenny Thomas. We'll take it.
Heck, maybe Dunn would have been a good player if he stayed in school.
Yeah, who knows? All right, now, adulting is hard. Money doesn't have to be. Andre Veras. Now, you might say to yourself, man, these guys on special teams, I don't know really what they're doing. They probably should be looking to the future and looking to basically get some money there. All right, now, Longview, we are here. We are not endorsing Andre Veras, but we are highly recommending him. Trying to balance your retirement with your kids' college funds? Who isn't? William Brad Alice, I'm sure, is doing that right now. Let's build a strategy that covers both without overstretching your budget. Investing on your own, but not sure if it's enough. Give Andre a call at 520-325-3456 and reference the AZ12 podcast for a complimentary initial meeting. And check us out at longviewii.com. Check it out. Boom. Have a good one, David. Always good seeing you, buddy. All right, now Baggins. Baggins is sponsoring Ben One White going to Las Vegas for the Arizona-Florida game. Very excited about this. Now, they should also be sponsoring Dennis Walsh's Jet. 12 Arizona locations, locally owned and operated, all food made in-house daily. Every sandwich comes with a chocolate chip cookie. Use code AZ12 for 15% off. Text Baggins to 877-797-0444 for specials and deals. Don't ask for the Dennis Walsh special, but go ahead and get the use this, though. You will thank me. Boom. Okay. All right, now, Eris Dental. Eris Dental, downtown dental implant and urgent care. Ask about the championship package. Not, and again, if they say that you mean Mike Luke's nickname in high school, no, say the other championship package. 1997. Now, here's the other thing. Cool. You don't have to like leave the state. You don't have to go on a mission to like Uganda and, like be like slashing through weeds and stuff to find a place that gives it to you this cheap. It is awesome. Check it out. Ask about the 1997. And one thing I will tell you all is we will be live streaming the insertion of the championship package into me as well. So when this happens, I think we could get over 100 views for this. We shall see. Either way, daily urgent care Monday through Friday.
Isn't that your OnlyFans as well?
Yeah, it's my OnlyFans as well. Yeah, tune into the OnlyFans Eris Dental Championship Package Special. Yes.
Insertion.
The insertion. Thing. Yes. Now, listen, Big 12 Bobby said tariffs. Land doesn't care about tariffs. That's true. Yes, exactly. There will be red line accountability in play. All right. The special teams.
They're not. Well, they're special in one way.
What's funny about the special teams? I was thinking about this last night. We've watched a lot of bad. You and I have watched a lot of bad football over the years. You go back a little bit further than me, even, but I go back to about 92. We've watched, and what's funny is under Tomey, there were never bad special teams. Special teams were almost always awesome. That obviously started to change. Then you got guys like Alex and Dejas in here. You got really bad. This is the best special.
I'll tell you where it changed. When Joe Robinson left.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you're right.
Stoops had
Explain who Joe Robinson is.
Joe Robinson was a DN's coach, special teams guru under Mike Stoops, and then he went and I think he got a promotion basically.
Right.
Maybe LSU even.
Right.
And from there, it's been fairly spotty ever since.
Right.
Whether it was been iffy kickers. I remember Rich Rod didn't offer kickers.
Right.
Whether it's been questionable coverages, whether it's been just issue after issue. So it's been a good 20 years when, again, under Larry Smith, they were amazing.
Yeah.
Under Tomey, amazing. Most of the Stoops era, amazing. Because Stoops offered kickers. Now, He did make a mistake. He offered Zendejas instead of Folk's little brother. Not that Folk's little brother was as good as Nick, but he was better. But, they had, even under Makovic, they had like Bonzio, who didn't miss a kick for like a year and a half. There's been some good ones lately, but other aspects of it have been not good.
All right, let me ask you about this. And our good pal Kevin Woodman and I used to always argue about this because Kevin Woodman doesn't believe in offering kickers because he thinks it's just some. I have never understood that. I would offer 2 kickers before I would care about the 4th string safety that hopefully never sees the field. Kicking is such an important entity in football, and I don't know if it's this testosterone laced. It's a kicker. Kickers matter. They just matter, and you've got to have good kickers. We'll get to the other parts of special teams, but I've never understood that, William. It's a pet peeve of
mine. There's that kind of running joke right now, college kickers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Scott Van Pelt does it. It's the difference between wins and losses. So
it is.
Now, you have to make sure you know how to evaluate a kicker. And unfortunately, I can tell you that some coaches at Arizona even have just taken the word of kicking gurus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what kicking gurus need? All their guys to get scholarships.
Right.
So they can get more kids to sign up.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get a guy, let's go through. Max Zendejas. How many games did he win for Arizona?
A lot.
Steve McLaughlin.
A lot. Matt Payton.
even let's go to the punting game. Miller, Ruben
okay.
Rodriguez,
Peyton.
Peyton, the other Swirl kid, Riggleman. How about the kid Keaton Cryer?
Yes.
Oh, who was the one under Stoops who almost single-handedly kept Arizona in the USC game that one year?
Who was that?
Danny Bauer.
Danny Bogger,
but his
get it right.
Who was ripped by the way.
The hell? Wasn't he like a 5-star punter coming out of?
And guess what he did? All he did was pin USC inside the 10, so USC had to go on these 10-minute drives and only beat Arizona by 40 when they could have put 70 on that.
Yes.
But yeah, you haven't seen that as much. Yeah, again, last few guys have been great. Haversick, NFL kicker, set a record for obviously Tyler Loop. So they've recruited kickers well. Scour and they're right, they weren't bad. But the fact of the matter is the rest of special teams seems to have suffered.
All right, well, let's talk about
they're not good in the return. They don't get good returns very often, and they give up a lot of yardage.
Well, let's talk about the special teams. And that honestly was kind of my complaint a little bit in the BYU game as well, that when they just went run pass to basically just try to get rid of the clock, you were relying on the special teams to not give up. And of course, there was a massive return, this or that. First of all, let's talk about the kick return. I like how, listen, I don't know that Wysong's ever going to really return much, but I like having Wysong there because he can catch the ball and he is not catching the ball at the 3-yard line. The thing that was going on for 4 or 5 games, and I know he's a friend of the show, so I don't really want to, I don't want to be mean or anything. But Jeremiah Patterson for 4 games was basically fumbling the ball or catching the ball at the 4-yard line every single time.
Okay, here's what I don't understand. When did this change? And again, the game has changed immensely since I played.
But it hasn't changed that much.
You used to not field the ball inside the 10 and certainly not the 5.
Right.
You risked that he wasn't going to get the good bounce. And again, this is college. To me, you plant that kid's heels at the 10. If the ball goes over his head, you take your, especially when you fair catch at the 10. Right. What's 3 yards? What's 5 yards? Odds are that ball is going to skirt in the end zone. I don't know when this changed. That drives me crazy.
Yeah, and it happens all the time.
And again, They now have air in their helmets and things like that. So the game has changed, but just don't field the ball inside the 5. Nothing. The odds are it's going to go in the end zone.
Yes, do not.
Or bounce forward.
All right. The other thing, too, why are we having such a hard time with long snapping the football? Why is this such a difficult thing as well? Like, these are basic things, Brad.
Again, because they don't offer long snappers. They used to.
I know.
You be a great job. I mean, a lot of schools do. In fact, I keep joking with my son. I'm like, learn the long snap.
Oh, well, we're focusing in on Tyler Alice. We're going to talk about Tyler at the end of the show, but we are focusing in on baseball for Tyler Alice.
I need him to long snap.
When is I need you to send me a schedule. I'd like to actually come watch him at this point. He looks way taller than the way you
he's getting close to 6 foot, I think. I think he has these Adidas that have like this big heel on it.
Yeah.
They're actually Continental Tire is the
Continental Tire?
Is the sole. The sole
is it is it like an all-terrain cleat?
It kind of looks like it. And I think with those on, he's just about 6 foot.
Right. And Dennis Walsh puts it incredibly well, as he always does. Just remember, if you don't back the 8, it's worse. You don't get to back the 8 when it's mid. I mean, I think that's really
that
true.
Sums up a lot of U of A stuff.
Yeah, it really does. Yes, exactly.
Football.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Women's basketball.
Yeah. By the way, are you weren't sold on Dilly going into the year? Are you sold on Dilly now?
I've never not been sold on Dilly. I wasn't sold on ASU.
ASU, yeah.
Being a 10-11 win team,
I really need them to lose. I was really bummed about that.
I said when they hired Dilly and Arizona passed on him for Fish that this was going to be a very good or very bad measuring stick thing. No, Dilly's not going to UCLA.
Dilly's going to be the next
Dilly
Cardinals.
May go to a better program. He's not leaving ASU for UCLA.
I need Dilly to be the Cardinals coach because then that makes ASU suck, and that makes
you can root for him.
Yeah, and I can root for him at that point. I can outwardly root for him.
Dilly wanted Arizona, and Dilly actually he had a staff put together. He had a couple supporters. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is that obviously. Okay, now
here's this. I see all these things. Like, this guy to Florida. at this point, why would you take a second tier? And I consider Florida a second tier SEC job. Still a very good job, but you're just setting yourself up to fail.
Why is it a second tier job?
Because I think in reality, the three best jobs in the SEC are Bama, LSU, and Georgia.
But it wasn't that way
with the right guy.
Right.
But you can what did Mullen do at Florida? Won 9 games every year, 10 games every year? They ran him out of town.
Right.
They're going to run Heupel out of Tennessee eventually.
I don't know. I've always thought if you're the right coach, you can win national championships.
If you're the right coach, you can win national championship there, but you also could be a very good coach.
Mm-hmm. But can't you say the same thing though about Georgia? Mark Richt won 9 games every year. They ran him out.
You're right, but I think now Georgia's in a position that you might be safer.
All right,
because at Florida, you're seeing it's harder to win at Florida now, though.
Right.
So again, if I'm Dillingham and I'm going to make a move out of my alma mater,
right,
I'm not just jumping at the first SEC job.
I don't think he's going to leave. I think when you're an alum and you grow up wanting to coach somewhere, like I was talking about this the other day with somebody, if I wouldn't care, like I grew up wanting to play basketball at Arizona. I know, hard to believe I didn't end up playing basketball at Arizona. I wouldn't have cared had Duke come after me, had North Carolina come out, whatever the case may be. I would have gone to Arizona. That was my dream. It's just different if that's your dream to play. If you grow up there down the street.
What's a great example? The big center from Sabina.
Korchak, yeah.
He could have gotten scholarships to some good mid-majors. He walked on at Arizona.
Yeah, exactly, because that was his dream. Yeah, he actually got a scholarship, yeah.
Eventually. And then again, I think he knew that was a possibility. But he could, I think was it Oklahoma that offered?
Yeah, no, he had an Oklahoma offer, but he wanted to back the A. His dream was to back the A. Okay, so there's
Evan Nelson could be playing 35 minutes a game at a good school. Not a great school, but a good school.
That's a good segue. Let's get to something that we can actually, will bring some smiles to our faces. Arizona basketball, my friend. Arizona basketball. All right. Let's start with, we're going to kind of go player by player here, but I want to talk about Braden Burries first. Burries is, I was thinking about this. I believe that Burries is the most basketball skilled two guard to come in here since Gilbert. I'm not saying he's better than Bayless, but Bayless's game, the reason with Bayless is that Bayless's game was so much predicated on power dribbling, and Bayless I expect to be better. I don't expect Burries to be better as a freshman than Bayless. But Bayless's game was so much predicated on power, explosion, and putting his head down and getting to the rack. You watch Burries, and it's just smooth. I mean, he gets you from all 3 areas. He's not the overwhelming physical specimen that Bayless was, but he reminds me, I mean, like I said, I think you have to go back to Gill to just pure natural basketball skill.
Yeah, Burries is really good. Again, there are going to be some growing pains, but he showed me a lot in that because, again, that's not Marathon Oil out there.
No,
that was not EA Sports. That was not Humboldt State. That was St. Mary's.
I miss Marathon Oil, by the way.
Interesting. I had a conversation about Marathon Oil, and it involved you as well with another grad, Wes Taylor. Shout out Wes if he's watching.
All right, shout out Wes.
Hockey teammate of mine. But that's a legit team they were playing. And I know they were running extra guys out there, and he just showed he could average 18 points in the West Coast Conference.
He just looked natural. I mean, you don't see a lot of freshmen that come in looking, that have that kind of game. And like I've been telling people too, he is he's older too. He's a year and a half older than his grade. That stuff matters from a physical maturation perspective. It just does.
No, I mean, as someone who was in the weight room in his teens and 20s, yeah, you have that jump.
Right.
You have jumps, early 20s. And again, he's not quite there, but some of those guys are physically older than their actual age too. But yeah, he's physically more mature. And again, Koa looks the same way, and Arista. They all do not look like freshmen. From their build, from their bodies.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about something that a couple people on here are going to take a massive L. Mo Crevis. I love Dennis Walsh. Dennis Walsh is the man, and he just said Marathon Oil plus Raycom. I loved it because you would always have Dave Sitton and Bruce Larson. It would be on Channel 2 or Channel 18. It was just awesome. But Dennis Walsh is not taking the L here with Krivas. Krivas had 17 rebounds, 14 points, multiple dunks, and Dennis Walsh is still complaining about him. I don't know what Dennis Walsh wants. Krivas, I thought, looked very good. I'm back in the Glacier. Yes.
You know me. I'm a Mount Krivas guy.
You are a
Mount
Krivas
since
guy.
day one, since I watched that video. That grainy Zapruder footage from a small village in Lithuania. Right. I've been a Krivas guy. So I'm not – it's going to take a lot for me to back off that, and that's selfish because I want to –
Yeah, you should pat yourself on the back.
I think he was 11 or 12 and 17.
Right. I mean, what the heck? And then Dennis Walsh is going into chats complaining about Krivas. Come on, Dennis Walsh. You're better than that.
Again, is he – yeah, he's not the athlete that we've seen through here. Athletically, he's much more Brian David than Brian Williams.
Of course he is. I mean, but he's useful, though.
But he's a good player. Is he a great – is he a better version of Zeus?
I think he's going to be better. Listen, here's the thing. They're
totally and again, I'm a Zeus guy because you got what you needed out of him.
Right. Yes.
He wasn't a 5-star, but he was. But if you can give me,
I think offensively,
12 out of Krivas, I'm happy.
Offensively, he's much better than Zeus. Defensively, he'll never be as good as Zeus, and he can't move like Zeus.
No, and again, Zeus's whole point was just clog the paint and make him go around you.
Yeah, and Zeus also for 3.5 years couldn't catch the ball. So I mean,
he had hands like feet.
Yeah, no, exactly. Now, we got
the only guy with worse hands than him might have been Joe McClain.
Yes, yeah. I don't care who you play. 17 rebounds is hilarious. Yeah, it's very, very good. All right, now
I'm not sure I could get 17 rebounds in the empty gym, but
Zeus has the worst hands of any Arizona player I've ever watched. Were Zeus's hands worse than Ed Stokes' hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were.
Yeah.
If you
catching the ball was only sometimes a problem for Easy Ed.
Now I will say this,
and again, I'm an Ed apologist too, though. You have to remember that. I think Ed was perfectly competent.
I will say this though: I've never seen somebody who missed more dunks in their career than Ed Stokes.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he must have missed 3 dunks per game. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, it was
what
awful.
You wanted out of Ed Stokes was rebounding, defense, and most importantly, boxing out so Chris Mills could get rebounds.
Yeah,
Ed was an active box outer.
Yeah, but he was just frustrating at some of the basics.
And for the same reason Zeus was. Zeus had all these physical tools, but Zeus was a perfect
role
player for that team. The only if he was Zeus, the 3-star recruit out of Paducah, Kentucky, everyone would love him.
I like how Paducah, Kentucky is always a go-to for people for a random. Wasn't there like a mass shooter there, like the first mass shooter or something? Like
I don't know. I was just trying to think of a small town that Arizona never recruited.
Or no, it was like Branch Davidians. I think it was Branch Davidians, or something like that.
Were they there before Waco?
Yeah, I think they were the precursor to Waco. Somebody look up Paducah, Kentucky. I do believe that was a. I do believe the Paducah, Kentucky was like before Koresh and all those.
It would not surprise me.
Yeah, all right. $20 super snap from
Kentucky's a weird place.
Look it up though. Waco is before Waco, I believe though. Paducah, Kentucky. Look this up, Andy Bryan, please. Okay, we got a $20 super snap again. Vegas Falcons, the man. Nothing but great news about Krivas. Totally agree. He hustled, ripped down boards, made blocks, and actually dunked. Definitely not in Glacier mode. Yes.
What's the downgrade from Glacier?
Iceberg?
He's not fleet-footed. Icebergs float, so maybe, yeah.
Iceberg? I would say an iceberg. Did they ever do that thing like with the Eskimos when somebody would get really old and they would just push them onto that iceberg? Or is that just urban legend where they would just push them off and they'd be like, all right, well, go die out there?
I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about though, right?
I do. Where they would push them on the ice block and.
What a terrible way to die.
I think they did that more with like dead bodies.
Was that their version of hospice?
I think I don't know. I hope it was more of their version of the Viking funeral where they used to just put you in the boat and like.
Well, I hope they're already perished.
Yeah, I hope they're dead and then they become food for.
Yeah, but that's awful though.
Later eat. Yeah,
they're like, hey, Granny, you're getting up there here. We'll see you later.
Don't freeze to death in the Arctic.
Yes,
in the Bering Strait.
Yes, exactly. Hey, and if you're still alive, maybe a polar bear will eat you.
I don't know. These are the people who fed their kids raw meat to make them stronger.
Yeah, I don't know. So it is what it is. But it was Paducah, Kentucky. I'm right. I am right. Okay, now Jane Bradley. Jane Bradley. It's been
another one of my guys.
Yeah, you were right.
I mean, I'll tell you when I'm wrong. I was right on. I was right
you were
on Jane.
Damn
Bradley.
right on Bradley, dude. Jane Bradley. That 3-point shot. If that 3-point shot. Oh, Big 12 Bobby. Come on. He's saying Isaiah Fox over Mo Krivas. Maybe Isaiah Fox's first year. Before he before he didn't even play. Yeah. Jane Bradley. If he makes those threes like that, if he shoots confidently, that changes everything for him.
No, yeah, because that's the one thing missing from his game. He became a competent scorer in the lane last year. If he can give you an outside shot just to keep you honest, that's going to open up everything.
Yeah. And the thing is too, is that I just like everything about him. He's got a little bit of you know what it is with him too? He's got a little bit for me, a little bit of a Noah factor in that I've seen a lot of bad QBs come through here. And lately, I haven't seen many great point guards.
Weird. Isn't it weird?
It's so weird. You had Kerr, who, I'm sorry, Arizona's better than Kerr. You had Boswell. I'm sorry, Arizona's better than Boswell.
I thought you meant Steve Kerr for a second. I'm like, what?
No. Oh, no.
Okay. I'm like, I know he wasn't the most athletic.
No.
Yeah.
You had Kirk Kriisa. You had, then you had Boswell. Just 3 kind of crappy point guards.
You've had one. Now you have 2. You've had 2 good point guards since
Lute.
Yeah. I mean, you had.
I like Mark Lyons.
Yeah, I mean, I have trouble calling him a point guard, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I liked him.
No, you're right. He's good.
Right.
But he'd be what? The 9th best Lute point guard? I mean, who you taking? Kenny Lofton, or are you taking Mark Lyons?
Yeah.
You're taking Reggie over Mark Lyons, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
The Mats?
I could make a case for him over Off.
No, you could, but it's a debate.
Right.
It's not automatic.
No, for sure. I would take him over Nico. I never liked Nico. But
Nico was a misevaluation.
Nico was a terrible miseval. But I like Jaden Bradley because he's just steady. I know what I'm going to get. He's reliable. I like everything about him, man.
If you have superstars around you, you don't need a superstar point guard.
Agreed.
Now he has to be very good. So again, yeah, the Noah. I mean, I'm going to use your favorite NFL player of all time.
The what?
NFL, Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Your favorite player of all time.
By the way, back and put on a vintage performance. How cool was that, by the way?
Yeah, not bad for a guy who went to high school with my dad.
Yeah, no, Flacco's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Flacco is awesome.
The combined ages of those 2 quarterbacks.
Did you see Rodgers can still throw the ball 71 yards in the air? I did not see that. Did you see that?
His arm talent has never been in question, even at this age.
Right.
It's his Achilles. It's his brain. Not football brain, but brain.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's but either way, I love Joe Flacco, the man. All right, but Jaden Bradley, I think Jaden Bradley, you talk about steady Eddie, 13 points, 4 assists, going to play really good defense. I'll take it every day of the week.
Yeah, as long as you have complementary scores around him, you need him to get. I mean, if he's at 8 and 6 more often than not, that's 6 assists. You're in great shape.
By the way,
he's going to defend. He's going to run the offense. He's going to get you a couple. He's going to get to the line when you need some points.
All right. Now, probably my biggest pet peeve with Arizona fans, and it's generally Gen Zers that do this, but there are some others, older people, that I do not understand why so many old people do not know how to spell Sean Elliott's last name. There's 2 T's. I see it all the time, and it'll always be somebody posting saying, lifelong Arizona fan, diehard, and they write something about Sean Elliott, and they may spell it 4 different times. That's annoying to me. Lute Olson, putting an E in there.
The one for me.
Olson is the one as well. The
the guy in that debate we were having on Twitter who thought we were talking about Sam Olson.
That was funny. That was amazing.
At least he did a my bad.
Yes. Now, Joseph's little brother Marcus just did something that I see now and then. It doesn't bother me as much as those, but it's bad. That's not Kevin McHale's center. I would go to, here's what Marcus or Gerald Salgado. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to beat you up. I thought you were somebody else, but either way, it still annoys me, even though you're better than me. I'd rather be in the ceiling seats at McHale than anywhere in the stadium in this product. McHale, MCK, not MCH, not Kevin McHale Center. That's a public service announcement. Sorry. By the way, I wouldn't have even brought that up. I thought you were Marcus or Joseph at first. Sorry.
Can we blame that on spell check?
Yeah. Well,
because of all the Boston Celtics chat rooms he's in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. But either way,
I'm going to blame on spell check.
But Olsen and Elliott are awful. How do you misspell? You've got the best player in school history and you've got the best coach. It's not easy. I will axe you that when I want. So now,
how about the Studemeyers?
Oh, who says that?
I've seen Studemeyer a few times. Yeah,
Studemeyer. It sounds like you turn him. Sounds like you turn him into like a, I don't know, some kind of like 18th century wine person or something. Yeah, we're gonna go to the Studemeyer. Yes. Yeah. All right. So, all right. Now, either way, that's just very, very bad. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I mispronounce other people's names on other teams. I don't misspell Arizona greats. You guys.
I mispronounce names.
I know how Lute Olson is spelled. Okay, so there's obviously that. Okay, now Comfort X Arena is great. Oh, that's really good. Okay, now Koa Pete, and I keep saying this, and I know that there's people. I'm going to keep saying this. Everybody that was crashing out, as the kids would say, about losing Carter Bryant, saying, "Oh, well, we just can't be as good because we lost Carter Bryant," or whatever the case may be. You also don't understand that there's other players going from Trey Townsend to Koa Pete that's about as big an upgrade as you can possibly get. And I'm not saying Koa Pete's, going to be Mike Bibby as a freshman, but I'm saying, man, that is a massive upgrade that people aren't even really talking about.
I'm not sure after watching this game, the overall talent upgrade isn't immense.
I think it is. Oh, I think across the board it is. Yes.
Ivan looks really good. Is Ivan playing a lot of 4 too?
It's Yvonne. Come on, we're right on this show.
Yvonne Marchinkov. I don't know. I don't pronounce names right. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
He's also playing some 4. It looks like.
Yeah.
You've got Aristode. ADO is ADO. He is what he is. But you know what's funny is I forgot about him. I think last time we talked, I was talking about their issues at the 3.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine.
Right.
Yeah. Do I want him playing 30 minutes a game at the 3? No. But if he plays 15 to 18 and he's knocking down some shots and it buys you some time, I think you're okay. Again.
Yeah. And there's no, you know what I like.
And again, Tobe didn't play. Awaka didn't play.
Right. Yes. Now, let's talk about ADO for a second. I am fine with ADO. You still have people in there bashing ADO. I like ADO. I think ADO is just fine. I have seen a lot worse players than ADO here on good teams, either start or play significant minutes offensively, and he's stronger. Is he going to be a great defensive player? No. But I am more than okay with ADO. Like I said, Arizona put Joe McClain out there and almost could have made a Final Four with him. ADO's better. I like ADO, period.
ADO is
back to the ADO. Yeah.
That was part of the problem with Trey Townsend. You might have a great game out of him.
Right.
And then he might cost you a game.
Right.
ADO is what he is. He's going to knock down some shots. He's going to play slightly below average defense, but he's not, because you're not matching him up against their best scorer. Mm-hmm. He does some good things in transitions. He's been clutch on the free throw line. So again, if he's playing 18 to 22 minutes a game, I'm fine with it. The problem is if he has to start, if those other guys, the younger guys, are not ready to eat minutes at the 3. Yeah. Because what you want is you want him playing about 10 to 15 minutes at the 3 and a couple minutes at the 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, that's kind of where it is. Now, Aristode, I don't worry much about Aristode. Again, it's his first game. I get all that. I think that Aristode is going to be just fine. I also think, like I said, I think that Yvonne is going to be just fine as well. I like you said, Brad, I thought you hit the nail on the head. And actually, let's get a couple reads in here. Then I want to give Brad some credit here. What do we got? Come on. Talk to me. Foster Plumbing. Now, Brad, when was the last time you clogged the toilet?
Me personally, or someone in this house?
Yeah, I was going to say, how often do you clog it? Weekly?
I don't. We are sharing one toilet right now because I probably need to call Foster Plumbing.
You need to call Foster Plumbing. What are you doing?
It gets clogged about once every other day. All you have to do is plunge it, but it's.
Do you use triple? Do you have triple ply or just double ply?
Just double.
Okay, all right. So, but either way,
someone in this household,
does Tyler destroy the bathroom?
They look like summer sausages, dude.
Right. I was gonna say, does it look like
logs?
Does it look like Dresden hit it or something? And it's just like Dresden post World War II. It
literally looks like he threw a summer sausage down in that thing.
Oh man, that's
they're girthy.
Yeah, I was going to say girthy, yes. But you might say to yourself, Mike, why are you talking about clogging the toilet? Because Foster Plumbing is here to repair anything. So residential and commercial, licensed, bonded, and insured. And they're helping around the U of A. I can't even imagine the per capita clogging of toilets around the U of A. So everybody, get there right now. Get your toilet or your plumbing checked out. Foster Plumbing does everything. Boom. 10% off when you mention the AZ12 podcast. Gas, water, sewer repairs, 24/7 service. Because let me guess, Tyler doesn't just clog the toilet from 8 to 5. This is true, Brad.
He usually doesn't because he's usually at school and practice.
Well, there you go. So again, check it out. All right, now you will thank me later. Foster Plumbing, get in there. Oh, Jesse's tattoo shop. Very excited, very excited. Jesse's the man. All right, now our good pal Kobe L. Thiel said he's going to get his first tattoo, and we're going to get it from Jesse. Now, this place is
live streaming that one too?
Yeah, we should live stream that. I'm going to have to ask Jesse if we can do that. That'd be awesome. But the thing about it, though, that's great about this place, too, is that it's clean. It's respectable. You go in there, and there's not some guy with like a decapitated cat that's saying, here, look at this, hold this while I get a tattoo. There's none of that going on because it is professional. It is a sober shop, and you don't have, again, you got a whole bunch of people in there as well, and they're all awesome. They wear a tattoo that speaks your story. Boom. Now, we got
the sober thing's important. The guy who did my first, which I later covered up, later found out drug overdose.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Seriously, it's very, very underrated. Being able to have this sober, but again, you go in there, and the great thing about it too, it's totally professional. By the way, I didn't know you have a tattoo.
Yeah,
lower back,
upper back.
What does it say, Mike Luke?
It's a Batman, photorealistic Batman.
Okay,
covering. I originally had a Calvin and Hobbes tattoo on that shoulder, my first tattoo, and it aged like a prison tat.
Yeah, not
well.
Well, you don't have to work.
Probably because the guy ended up dying. It was tiny. But yeah, I now have it's really pretty sweet. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But now they got a tattoo expo coming up where I'm going to be out there. Tucson, Arizona, October 24th, 25th, and 26th. Top artists from all over the nation, live performances, vendors, food, drinks, and more. $20 a day, $40 for a 3-day pass. Inkers, tattooexpo.com, Tucson Expo Center. Now we got the car show. This is also going to be fun. They got a bull. Have you ever ridden a bull before, Brad?
I have not ridden a bull, no.
Oh, I might go there to watch or just to see that, but I will be there anyway. $50 tattoos as well. And again, watch Jesse's page for the surprise raffle. Sunday, November 30th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2025 toy drive. Like I said, they do a lot of stuff for the community and special guest DJ. All right, first-time clients at Comfort X HVAC get a free AZ12 purchase. Now, Brad, let me ask you this. What do you think, how do you think Tyler's bowel movements would be if you didn't have AC? Probably worse, right?
Well, we may have had that issue going on last week, too.
Oh, well, so you can speak from experience on it. All right. Either way, don't be like Kobe L. Thiel. Get an air conditioning. We're going to talk about this. And residential and commercial HVAC. These people are so good that literally I would consider just throwing my AC out the window just so that they would come in and bring me a new AC. Plus, they saved Tony Gimino $2,500. And Tony Gimino is literally one of the most miserable people walking the face of the earth. You would agree with this?
Absolutely awful. Yeah.
The man is never happy. All he does is talk poorly about other people.
The only time I've seen him happy is when he's drafted the guy I wanted right before me in a fantasy football draft.
That's the only time you will see Tony Gimino happy. Otherwise, he's just miserable.
And then he does the X thing, but he does a chop down.
Yeah, the chop thing. Yeah, the chop.
Okay. Gimino, so crude.
Yeah, so crude. Comfort X HVAC. When you 520-222.
I hope people know where he's the opposite person.
Yeah, he's literally the opposite.
The miserable one's the other guy he used to work with.
Yes.
Who again, great guy, but cranky.
Right. Yes, very, very cranky. Tony is the man. All right, now mention AZ12 when booking, and 10% of labor goes to helping local families. Get entered in a Christmas raffle for a $100 grocery cart and 6-month filter supply. Babe Joel Bobby, that was funny. Okay, now, all right.
By the way, Shane, I appreciate the offer. I think I'm too old for it, though. I can't.
What did Shane just ask?
He offered to teach me how to ride a bull.
Oh, well, hey, you should come to this though, Shane, and we will see what's.
I mean, I'm still trying to recover from hockey last night.
Yeah, me too. Not me for hockey, but refereeing basketball games because I'm very good. Okay, now, by the way, I refereed Michael Dickerson again.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. That's just awesome in so many ways.
Oh, no, it's really cool. And
is our mutual friend from Mountain View playing in the league anymore?
Aaron still plays. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say hey for me.
Oh, I certainly will. I love Aaron. Aaron Anderson's one of the coolest people on the face of the earth.
Talk about a great two-sport athlete. His dad was convinced. His dad, who unfortunately passed away years ago, he's a good friend of mine. We met through me covering Aaron, but he was a heck of a pitcher.
I firmly believe that Aaron could have been a back-end rotation player at the U of A. I really do.
Well, again, he didn't even really pick up basketball as his main sport
because he's such a good athlete.
Community college, yeah, he was a pitcher too in high school. Great pitcher.
Okay, now, Brad, before we sign off here, though, and we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, though, as well. I think all systems go for this Arizona basketball team. We're going to talk more about the schedule and everything, but man, they look the part, though, Brad.
There's going to be growing pains. There's going to be some nights you're just going to get completely frustrated. Just like some people are like, oh, is the game too fast for Arizona? Yeah, there will be some.
Right.
There'll be some nights where Koa just struggles because he's playing a 30-year-old man who's on an NIL deal and he's been in college since pre-COVID. But that being said, this team's talented. This is probably Tommy's.
It's definitely his deepest team. You can't argue that.
And the only one that competes with it's the Matherin team.
Right.
Who just ran into the wrong team on the wrong night. But this team's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be very good. There's going to be growing pains. There could be, they could have 3-4 losses in the non-conference, but still wind up with like a 3 seed.
Yeah.
Because of the schedule strength. And the Big 12 is deep and good too. But it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to talk a lot about that tomorrow as well. Brad is coming on, and Kobe Thiel is coming on as well. Kobe asked me, he said, does Brad like me? And I said, Kobe, nobody dislikes you. It'll be fun to have you both.
I've met Kobe 2 or 3 times. Seems like a good dude.
He sent me real times of you before as well at like Curtis Field or wherever there, or Jacobs Bar or Curtis Park.
Curtis Park, yeah.
Yeah, because I referee basketball games there.
I didn't realize that was Kobe. I thought I was your other guy, because I know Brogan's kid played there.
No, but this was Kobe Thiel's the one that sent me before.
Okay.
Yeah, so either way, we got it. Brad is the man. The son has a great name. Yes. Brad is the man. We very much like Brad. All right, everybody, though, get out to Little Caesars. Now, if you're looking for something that, I was going to say, if Tyler's going to clog the toilet, we need Tyler to clog it with something that is very tasty and a very good deal.
You don't think we're not doing the
Little Caesars free classic? I think this is working. I'm not totally sure, but I believe this is working now. Code free classic, free pepperoni pizza with any pizza purchase. Check it out. Get in there. And again, get Tyler in there and say that, guess what? Tyler, here. Take this, eat this.
We got to do pizza. We got to do. I got to add some weight. He's for the first time in his life.
He's thin now.
He's having trouble putting on weight.
He's thin now.
He's the same weight he was in 6th grade. He's just almost a foot taller.
Right. Oh well, it must be nice. That definitely the exact opposite of my life.
Me too.
Yeah. Speak for it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Everybody in the chat, you guys are fantastic. We very much appreciate you. We will be back with you tomorrow at the same time. For the great William Brad Alice, I'm merely Mike Luke. Cody James Martin making us sound better than we ever should. You have been listening to the AZ12 podcast.